Contrary to what everyone thought, the Mario movie spearheaded by Illumination actually looks pretty good. I think that's more so Miyamoto breathing down Illumination's neck, rather than Illumination wanting to make a good movie. Like, I'm so bewildered by the fact we might have doubled the amount of good Illumination movies to do. Who am I kidding? In the past year I've made 3 videos on Illumination, this being the 4th. It's quickly becoming one of the most talked about subjects on my channel, but this time I'm looking forward to exploring the idea, that is, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Anyone else think the logo looks really generic? I think when all is said and done, the Mario movie is going to be really safe, but safe doesn't equate to meaning bad, and it makes my job easier. Today, I'm a fortune teller, and I'm telling the fortune of this movie. My first wacky zany prediction is that it's gonna be good. It'll be above average. I think we as a collective group of consumers have been gaslit into thinking that the video game adaptations are better than they actually are, just because they contain Easter eggs and whatever else. But looking at the other video game adaptations, the main comparisons come to mind for me are Detective Pikachu and the Sonic movie, both being live action movies with CGI. But the Mario movie being purely animated gives it an advantage in that it can be more faithful to the source material, which may or may not be an advantage to you, but in terms of plot, it makes it a lot more predictable. And then on top of that, we already have the casting too, and I can speculate the role they're gonna play in the movie pretty easily. Everyone apart from Seth Rogen. We know it'll be an origin story because of the presence of Spike, played by Sebastian Maniscalco, and apparently Cranky Kong's in the movie. I'm not entirely sure what role he'll play, but I infer that he'll be with Donkey Kong in whatever environment they're in. And then for the other miscellaneous characters who we know are gonna be in the movie, apart from the teaser, like, we know Kamek is going to be Bowser's right-hand man. Toad's going to be with Mario, which we again saw in the trailer. Another tidbit of information we got from the trailer is that Mario comes out of a warp pipe, and he doesn't know where he is. Oh no! Everyone on Twitter interpreting this as, the Mario movie's in a Zykai. And a Zykai being a really long-winded explanation I can't go into right now, but it's a fun joke to make. But unironically, it's a part of the Mario lore. Have you not read it? And it's also kind of like the original Mario movie, which I made a video on last year. I think fundamentally, the movie will play out vaguely similarly. I say vaguely, be patient with me, okay? The introduction of the 1993 movie had Mario and Luigi have their plumbing job in Brooklyn, where we got to watch them goof off for a small duration of the movie. I think that'll be similar to here, except we got the inclusion of Spike. Not that Spike. Foreman Spike, the dude from the Wrecking Crew. Do you not know? Okay. He is a minor character when all is said and done, but the fact they got Sebastian Maniscalco indicates to me he won't just have one line. Like, he's featured in the promotional material. I think he'll only have a role in Act 1 though, as Mario and Luigi's boss. Thankfully, Illumination are a really predictable company. I've watched too many of their movies and I know a bit too well what's happening in them, to where I can kind of pinpoint general gists of the movie and kind of predict them easily, to be honest with you. And that's not that hard in their Illumination. The only unknown factor being Miyamoto, because while I know for a fact he's involved in the movie's production, and he's changed the trajectory of the movie. It was announced to be in production in January 2018, and then it was delayed. So you know for a fact that Miyamoto scrutinized any and everything. If his work in the gaming industry is anything to go off of. Plus, even on top of that, like, he's had influence in Nintendo consoles, so he's a wild card. Like, who made the Wii U, bro? But I reckon the movie will be faithful, as it would be, because Nintendo are cautious of their IP being used by other companies. Put example here. Me being the intelligent one using Illumination as a little example. The Minions Rise of Gru had nuance in that it started off with an introduction scene of the villains, which is fun to watch because it serves as a hook for the audience, so that when we're introduced to Gru, we want to know when they cross paths, you know? The original Despicable Me does a similar thing in showing the heist of the pyramid. Having it start with action grips the audience to make them want to watch the rest of the movie. I reckon the Mario movie will be the exact same. In the introduction scene being between Bowser and whoever, it's evident from the trailer of Bowser fighting the penguins that Bowser has his introduction scene here. From how the scene is framed, and the literal dialogue telling us to behold the King of the Koopas, like it's so on the nose. But it's hard to tell if they would start off the movie with that scene, but I wouldn't put it past them, as it sets an ominous tone that would be contrasted by Mario and Luigi goofing off in Brooklyn. Speaking of which, the scene of Mario looking confused definitely isn't his introduction scene. It's the introduction scene for the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm gonna do a wee chart. I think the first scene will involve Bowser, and then it would contrast with Mario and Luigi hijinks, and then from that point forward it would be a lot of unknowns. From the trailer we know that power stars are significant, as Bowser gets a hold of one and asks a wee rhetorical question, and going off of the comically limited information we have, it could be inferred that we can cross-reference the game and assume he gets the Power Star from the Penguin Kingdom, because penguins in the Mario games have an affinity for having stars, but Bowser could have easily gotten it from elsewhere. Like where? Little tidbit of trivia, but we know for a fact there'll be music involved, as Jack Black confirmed.
I think you'll be surprised to see that Bowser has a musical side.
And then McDonald's toys confirmed Lumas too? I don't know how they fit in. It would be so easy to talk about the leaks and use that to cop out my A-tier speculation, so I won't do that much. As I was getting to before, I believe that we'll be introduced to them as plumbers first and foremost, and they'll have work to do. I kind of think that Mario and Luigi wouldn't be living in actual Brooklyn, but like a Mario-fied version of Brooklyn. A bit like New Donk City, or something. Cause as established in the trailer, there are different worlds, like in the games. But I don't think they're different worlds and that they're different planets, but more so different masses of land with different biomes. Like, I think it's most comparable to Mario Odyssey. For example, I can imagine in my head Foreman Spike sending Mario and Luigi on a mission to the jungle to help out Donkey Kong, because I literally don't know what circumstance would push Donkey Kong to the Mushroom Kingdom. It just doesn't appear to be an environment I can picture him in my head. But I can foresee Mario and Luigi doing plumbing work for different clients, and then coincidentally one of them's just Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong. But in the script, I wrote about one of the clients being a Luma, and I thought to myself a bit more and came to the conclusion that in Illumination movies they have characters they use as like icons for merchandise. Just for example, the Minions, the little bears and the Lorax. Here I'm thinking, maybe their little guy is a Luma. Again, using other Illumination movies as a crux to help me figure out the plot of this movie, there has to be a bit of tension between the main cast. And from the trailer I inferred that it's between Mario and Luigi. Because in the trailer we've got a scene of Luigi running towards a mansion, with Dry Bones chasing him, and Mario is nowhere in sight. And in the Minions Rise of Gru, Gru separates from the Minions for a duration of the movie, and then we have the Minions growing on their own, without Gru. And then to go back even further than that, it happens in Despicable Me 2. Not the second one, the original movie. This narrative technique hemorrhages the story in three ways, to where you've got an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot. I say C plot, but in Rise of Gru, it was mainly just comic relief. No offense to Luigi, but he's always been comic relief, and the B-side to Mario. Except in this case, he'll be C plot, because Bowser's B plot now. Fun! But a character arc I can imagine for Luigi is that it starts off with him being really timid and shy and dependent on Mario. But then, over the course of the movie, he comes into his own character and he gets more confident. And then he comes back for the final act and helps Mario defeat Bowser. But to facilitate Mario and Luigi splitting up, part of me imagines that after the plumbing jobs Mario and Luigi do, they'll get into some kind of argument which will make them split up. But I think that Bowser could be the catalyst of making them split up. I don't know how, but considering the game says Bowser kidnapped Peach, and the only scene we have of Bowser is him terrorizing some random castle that doesn't have Peach, I'm curious to find out what Bowser's goal is. Because I know Jack Black is playing Bowser, so what if Bowser is sort of comic relief? I imagine him being a goofball with a serious side to him, and he's on a tirade for power until he sees Peach, and then goes limp. Cause Peach is an attractive woman played by Anya Taylor-Joy. And then Bowser puts all of his power into trying to get Peach to like him, but Peach just doesn't reciprocate. I hate the word, but I can easily envision a simp Jack Black Bowser singing. According to a leak, Peach getting kidnapped causes tension in the brothers as Luigi, being the more timid one, is scared of getting involved, compared to Mario who is more proactive. I hate to be the guy who's like, that sounds accurate, but that sounds accurate. The only thing that makes me doubt the leak is that in the trailer Mario's in the Mushroom Kingdom, with Luigi being nowhere in sight, leading me to think that they split up before Mario went to the Mushroom Kingdom. Cause Mario finding a new companion in Toad after Luigi leaves him makes sense because it's what we see in the poster. And I don't think Luigi on his own would take up that much screen time. I really do think that Mario and Toad will be the characters exploring on their own. Toad educating Mario on everything, like he did in the trailer, but he'll do it in a funny way that kids will laugh at. Speaking of humour, I do think that there'll be stupid toilet humour in the movie, because Mario and Luigi are plumbers. Like, it makes sense. But I think comparatively it'll have less lowbrow humour than other Illumination movies. This again being because of Miyamoto. One aspect of Illumination movies that I really like is the slapstick. Not enough people comment on it, but it's usually really well done. And I laughed a lot during the Rise of Gru because of the action. And I think it's really well timed in that movie. And then going off of the trailer of the Mario movie, it appears it'll have pretty heavy involvement in that movie too. Visuals are so important for Mario, and it's important to convey as much as you can with action, rather than dialogue, as Mario the character hasn't had a large speaking role before. So I envision a lot of the humour with Mario more so being from his actions, rather than his comments. Same thing with the majority of the characters in this movie. I think Mario and slapstick go together really well. The audience has derived humour from the non-audible actions of the characters. Take for example New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The more I thought about it, the more I came to the conclusion that Nintendo and Illumination aren't really a bad crossover at all. And oh my gosh, I adore the soundtrack of Illumination movies. They always hit it out of the park. Jack Black told everyone there would be a musical aspect of the movie, and I'm not sure if that's exclusive to Bowser, but I really hope it isn't. I have limited knowledge when it comes to Chris Pratt's singing talent, but part of me thinks that if he sang, he could pull off a dad tone, which isn't good singing per se, but it's cute and charming. The opposite of Chris Pratt for real. And Anya Taylor-Joy sang before, so it's only a question as to whether or not there'll be more than just one song for the movie. But even if it is just one song, I can guarantee you Jack Black will make a banger, because going off of the Lorax, the Onceler had incredible songs. Yeah, I'm including Biggering, even if it unfortunately didn't make it to the final cut. Now, I'm at a loss for the final act of the movie, but I can definitely imagine Mario getting a Mega Mushroom, because Illumination like doing these big bombastic third acts, and this being complete speculation based on what we've seen so far, but the references to pixel art are definitely existent in this movie, as seen by the voxels, which scares me as it reminds me of Pixels from 2015. But the final act may pay homage to the original game in Mario and Bowser fighting on a bridge. After Mario invades the castle, imagine Luigi and Mario reconciling and Toad being there for the vibes, while the three invade Bowser's castle and we get some fun slapstick in action, where it ends in a one-on-one with Bowser. And again, to cross-reference the leak, it mentioned Mario using an axe on the bridge to kill Bowser. Could that be the end though? You have no idea how cool it would be to have the climax be like Mario Bros. Wii, where Kamek gets involved, and we get another final fight, because the video games love doing that. I think the Charles Martinet cameo will be gibberish spoken by other humans at the first part of the movie, or alternatively, if the movie wanted to go for something like Mario 3, you know, to involve the entire idea of it being a play, I could foresee Charles Martinet playing a narrator, but just in his normal voice. He's quite soothing to listen to. If they wanted to pad out screen time for the movie, which Illumination love to do, they could include references to Mario spin-offs, and I thought about the ending, and wouldn't it be so poetic to have everyone racing together like in Mario Kart or playing a party or something? You know, to make fun of the fact that in the games they're like enemies, but in every other aspect they're indifferent to each other. Plus it would also pay homage to the fact that every 2010 animated movie ended in a dance scene with the villain. I for one am really excited for more information, and if I'm proven wrong on my prediction, I'd be happy. I would love to be proved wrong, but if I'm proved wrong in a bad way, you'll hear about it. Thank you for watching. Donate to my Patreon to help me afford editors to help me edit videos and get more out. Watch another video here. Okay, bye.